And this is called River's View because you can see the river?
I think it's called Rivers View because basically you can see three rivers. You can see the Essequibo, the Mazaruni, and the Cayuni, to some extent the Mazaruni.
Melena Pollard has served for many years as the Tushao, or village leader of Riversview, undertaking a daunting task in a village that is politically divided.
When I saw how it is my village was being run and run down, because we had deplorable bridges and infrastructure and things falling apart and so on, I decided that it would be a good opportunity for me to try and see if I can make a difference.
Payments Riversview is receiving from Guyana's sale of carbon credits is helping to make a difference, transforming the village's infrastructural landscape. Take, for example, the newly renovated Stelling.
We hadn't much choice in choosing the Stelling, we had to. The Stelling was built, I think, in 2009 and it was shared, so it was basically lasting a long time. But we've had some repairs, minor repairs, but the step that you guys came up, it is sturdy and nice now. But before we did it, it was like loose titanium out and very shaky, and it wasn't safe at all. It wasn't safe for persons having to go up, going down, and especially the school kids because they would have to go there to board the boat to go to school. So it wasn't safe. We hadn't a choice. We had to make it a priority.
There is also now a two-story multi-purpose hall with a village office. Cultural activities are important for the way of life of people of Riversview, so getting a proper stage was important. It helped that a local resident was able to do the artwork.
The stage was a really, it was built some time ago, and the materials that were used, they started rotting. So in 2022, when we had heritage celebrations, one of the young ladies actually fell through it. So we said that we were going to do some repairs on it. But then when the guys actually go and did the first touch to it, the entire stage fell. So we had to cancel doing repairs and build a totally new stage.
A new benab overlooking the river was also among the projects funded from the sale of carbon credits.
So how do you get the village to come together to decide on what projects you will execute?
Well, for us, we had about 3 months, 4 months, where we just had ideas just coming in. Every meeting that we had, we put aside a time and said, you know what, we want to hear from you. What are some of your visions? What are some of your ideas that you want to see done in the village? So when we had that, then we said, okay, now we're going to pick out priorities. And we went through all of the lists under the different headings and we picked out some. So those were the ones that we started working on first.
With future grants, Riversview is looking to do skills training, invest in ecotourism, and pursue other ventures. The funds from the sale of Guyana's carbon credits to Hess Corporation totals $750 million US. 15% of the funds are given to indigenous communities because of their historic role in preserving the rainforest.
That the forest is providing the means for us to keep living. And I think that that is so important because without the forest, we wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't have clean air to breathe. Us Amerindians wouldn't have food. We wouldn't have shelter. We wouldn't have clothing.
Tushao Melena Pollard is very vocal in her support for the funding indigenous communities are receiving. There have been criticisms that the award of the funds does not meet the requirements of the principle of free, prior, and informed consent, FPIC, but Tushao Pollard said what happens in villages should be left to those who actually live in the villages, and not those who trump up FPIC when it is convenient.
For me, this entire process have screamed the FPIC. Not only talk about it, persons are being informed. But I think basically what is going to happen is that because you weren't there at that particular meeting, you're going to say you don't know, but you can't speak for everybody. At the end of it, it's your people who will benefit or will lose. And I don't like to see people lose because of one person's foolishness.
Reporting for the newsroom, I'm Neil Marks.